Hello everybody and welcome to the very first episode of what we like to call Total Football here at ARW. Usually we concentrate on Liverpool Football Club, but this time we thought we'd do a more wide-ranging football podcast. I've brought in the two usual gangsters with me here to pretend like we have a clue what we're talking about. So, Gav and Jonathan, thanks for joining me, lads. We spoke on Monday on the Woolcast, lads, about the top of the league. Who's going to get the European places, who's bought well, but I think we have to talk about the bottom and who we might fancy for relegation. So it's obvious we could probably go to the teams that are coming up from the Championship, but sometimes they tend to do alright. So is there anybody in particular to you, gents, that stand out as relegation fodder? And you can't say Everton. I know that's the go-to response.
You can't
say the richest club in the world. I'm not allowed to say the richest club in the world.
You probably can look at the teams that have come up, and now I'm going to try to remember them. Brighton, Huddersfield and Newcastle.
Bull of us. Well done, guys.
Just pretended he didn't know.
Off the top of the head, that was. Fuck you.
Off the cuff.
You look at them, you would have thought Newcastle would be fine. They'll get their house in order and Benitez will get the control that he wants, but there's a few moments today that he's not happy.
Has he bought anybody yet? He has Atsu, actually. Did he take an Atsu?
He may have, but nothing stands out for me that he bought him. You know, usually when a transfer goes through, you're going to go, oh, they've signed him, but
we've done our bit, Gav. I mean, I know personally that you put in at least 4 or 5 Sports Direct orders over the last year, and I know I have.
Yeah,
Jonathan?
absolutely, yeah.
A little, yeah, just for the raffle fund.
Trying to help Rafa.
I just want the big huge cup that you get, the big huge Sports Direct cup.
You know, this is a sore point to me because a lot of people seem to be getting them for nothing, but they've never once.
Any order over 50 quid, you get a cup, man. I'm telling you.
Miserable bastard. Did you hear that, Mike Ashley? I want my cup.
He won't give you the full.
No, he won't give me.
If you won't give Benitez 5 quid to spend, he's not giving you a cup.
Does Rafa just get aroused by,
I think he's attracted. I think he's attracted to lunatics.
I think he's a bit like me, and he just likes a row. He just likes to pick faults and go after situations where he knows it's going to be not straightforward.
Valencia, he had a row. Remember that famous saying? I asked for a lampshade, and they brought me not the quote one. I asked for a coffee table, then brought me a lampshade. So he fell out of those.
Well, that makes perfect sense.
He came.
Well, if you ask for a fucking coffee table and they give you a lampshade, you've every right.
I asked for 2 experts and got you 2 lads.
Oh, well, that ended up with these 2 clowns.
I didn't want to be here.
No, just forced against my will. So in that, he went to Liverpool and well documented. Hicks and Gillette
couldn't even get a fucking hotel room in Athens.
The thing about Hicks and Gillette, like that's a very fucking specialised case. And they're special.
But Rafa found it.
Oh no, he did find it, and you look at it Inter Milan.
Milan was trouble.
After Mourinho, we went to Chelsea. He won the Europa League with Chelsea. But when he took over Newcastle, there was talk of him if he keeps them up, he'll stay. If they go down, he mightn't. But he stayed with them, and he won the league. I think in the end. He did, didn't he?
Jamily.
Yeah, he won the championship on the last day of the season. But all the talk was that he had complete control. He over transfers, and he was literally running the club, and that's what he likes to do. But as of today, there's been now I don't know what to believe, but usually when you hear Benitez is having a row with an owner, it's a fair bet that he is. So I don't know if they'll struggle. I think that stadium they're in, and when it gets rocking, it can get them enough points, I think, to stay up. Yeah. I think Brighton have spent a few quid. I think Huddersfield have spent a few quid as well. I like Wagner at Huddersfield. So as you said, they might surprise a few people. I'm more looking at the teams that are already there, that are there from last season and stuff, and trying to think of, is there anyone that hasn't pushed on or gambled a bit too much that they may get dragged into it? And every year I think Stoke. I don't know why.
You took the words out of my mouth.
I don't know why. I just think Stoke all the time.
I think they've bought well over the last few years, though. They've bought some big names as well.
But what have they done? They've never, like we talk about Everton are perennial 7th placers or.
But look at it in the good side. Jonathan Walters isn't there anymore, so there's no more Jonathan Walters against Liverpool.
Yeah, but
to have to deal with.
Yeah, but Burnley though, isn't it?
Oh shit, yeah.
Yeah, but I don't know what it is.
Another one of our teams that we don't.
I think it's just Mark Hughes, and I think there's a little bit of hope in me that Mark Hughes will get relegated. And look, again, Stoke might have enough, but Stoke are one that stick out to me. They've sold Arnautovic, haven't they, to West Ham for 20 million. Walters is gone. Crouch is another year older. Berahino, I don't think he scored for them when he went there last season. So they've a lot of players that have to prove themselves. But look, there's 3 weeks or whatever left in the window. There's going to be a lot of spending from a lot of clubs.
In my head, Tony Pulis is still the manager of Stoke and always will be.
Yeah, but like you look at West Brom, but look, West Brom get the 40 points in around mid-March and then just stop playing.
They're on the beach, yeah. Definitely. Do you know who I think? I think Swansea would have been in the shit if they hadn't been clever enough to appoint Paul Clement.
An absolute excellent signing. Yeah. He is a shrewd manager. He's going to end up.
He's a great, but he's a great CV when you look where he's been with Ancelotti. He was at PSG with him. He was at
Real Madrid.
Wasn't he working somewhere in England as well? He was with
Chelsea.
Yeah. So no, he's a great caliber in coaching.
He looks like a manager as well. He looks like he can carry himself.
He looks like he thinks the game out well, and he can approach a game differently. Whereas some of these teams down there, they have one approach and they hope it pays off. I've actually tipped them to be quite good this season. I think they might. I think they'll be alright, more than alright.
Do you know what he reminds me of? Who was the Scottish guy that was Kenny's assistant? I'm drawing a blank on his name.
Clark.
Steve Clark reminds me of a poor man's Paul Clement.
Yeah,
definitely didn't dress as well as him otherwise.
Did Steve Clark want to manage somewhere after?
He was with West Brom manager for a while.
He was he? Yeah. But West Brom, I think, would be alright. But the obvious thing is to look at them three that have come up, but they might surprise a few people, you know.
Brighton play some nice football.
Brighton is a nice, lovely stadium. They play nice football. They've got a few decent players.
Did they sign Ince?
No, Huddersfield signed Ince.
Yeah,
and Huddersfield is not an easy place to go. From people that I know that support championship teams and have been to Huddersfield to watch the teams play and say it's not a nice place to go. They're
a physical side as well, but they play football as well.
I think any of them three coming up, maybe not Newcastle because they probably have a bit more of a higher standard to try reach, but I think anyone coming up there should be looking at the Burnley model, what Burnley done. They were absolutely dog rough to fucking play when they were at home. Like, if you look at the amount of points they got at home, I don't think did they win an away game last season? If they did, it was very near the end of the season, but they managed to get a serious amount of points at home. And sometimes even when they lost, I think did they lose to Arsenal very late on?
They're just gonna say and just
no, that Potsy handball.
Yeah, the Shanley or something like that. Yeah, so I think any of them coming up should look at the Burnley model and say, look, lads, if we get out in a way, it's a bonus. But if they can put 10 wins together at home, it's 30 points, and it's not a 40-point league anymore to stay up.
No, it's not.
It's 34, 35. It could be at as low as that, you know. You just wish Sunderland was in the league. You just fuck pick Sunderland, you know. But
that's true. Jonathan, anyone that's jumping out at you?
There's a couple of ones there that they could go either way. You look at Watford. With Silva as the manager, he did excellent to a certain extent at Hull.
Well, they're getting off to a bad start in the first game anyway.
They're getting signed today as well. They signed Andre Gray from Burnley for a record fee, he said.
It'd be interesting, like he's a very unique football philosophy, which is completely different to what Watford would have played the last couple of years. Last couple of years has just been pretty much lash balls up to Troy Deeney, which is a complete contrast to Silva's style. You're never going to get the likes of Troy Deeney playing ball, so it'll be interesting to see what way that will go.
He might take time to adjust.
Yeah, I think they could be in a bit of bother there as a result. Like that could go either way. You said Stoke, they could go either way as well. You know, you kind of get these teams that kind of they survive, they come up in, they get great ambitions, and then they fall to bits, and it's what way they react after that. And I think Stoke are kind of at that. West Ham, I would have been worried for them at the end of last season, but I think they've bought pretty well.
For sure.
I think Hernandez is a massive difference the way people look at him.
He's going
How the fuck did they get him for 13 million quid?
He did buyout clause for 13 million.
That's what I'm saying. How did Everton not go and try and get Hernandez?
But look,
I see him scoring 20 goals.
He better. He's in my fantasy team.
We put the jinx
we get onto that later.
You put the jinx on it there altogether. Because towards the end of the season, particularly the game that springs to mind is because we had our own interest in it, but when we played them away at home and when we needed to win, the atmosphere was just toxic. It wasn't just our shirts being toxic; it was the atmosphere around it.
It's just that
stadium was just a farce.
That's what you see. I'd never tip West Ham to go down if they're at Upton Park.
No.
Are we tipping Spurs to go down then? Because they're in Wembley. That's them.
They're Champions League record.
Yeah, they don't have a great record there, do they? I'm trying to think.
No English club does though. Any English club, Arsenal when they played at Wembley,
it's just the pressure, isn't it? Yeah.
Yeah, but Arsenal at the time came up against Fiorentina, didn't he? Batistuta was just unreal. What a player, yeah.
He was a superstar, but you look at the promoter teams. Huddersfield, if they didn't spend, I would have thought as good as football as they play, and I admire Wagner. He's very Klopp-like, but a lot of new signings. I think they'll go on a run. They're going to be thereabouts. They're going to be in a little battle. Brighton, as good as football as they play, probably are going to be sucked into it as well.
It's the length. It's going the distance, isn't it?
It is,
you get a team that can fly till. Like if you look at Blackpool when they come up, they flew till Christmas. They look like they were
even Hull when they first came up.
And then they just keep getting dragged. And what happens is, and once they get dragged in, they can't get themselves out because, like I said, they don't have the players to change formation or way of playing, and they can't afford to do it really quickly. So they have to, or they can't bring in youngsters because everyone knows you go with experience and you hope for the best. But thinking of other teams around the league, who else was down there last season?
The team that I would love to see go down, and this is pure spite after the transfer saga, but wouldn't be great if Southampton were dragged into it.
Oh Jesus, we get the blame for it.
I can't see it happening now because their youth system is too long. Lads, we've a lot to get through on this pod, so I'm going to push it. Give me 3 teams that you're...
Can I just... Who else was in the mix last season? I know... Who went down?
So you had...
Sunderland.
Well, they were gone since about fucking September.
Yeah, David Moyes had given up.
Sunderland, Hull.
Oh, thank God, by the way.
And I can't even think of the 4th team that went down.
Sunderland, Hull, and... Who else went down last year? Just start naming clubs. Somebody will come.
It doesn't matter. Who was around it? Swansea were in the mix, weren't they?
Yeah, they got out right at the end.
Burnley were in the mix.
Yeah, after dropping a bit.
West Brom were thereabouts. Palace.
Oh, Palace, yeah.
Palace escaped.
Palace
did a great job getting out, to be fair, thanks to Sacco.
Yeah, but Palace, like you said with Watford, De Boer's a different kettle of fish to Allardyce or anyone before him, the way he wants to play. I never thought of them. They were ones around it.
Yeah, but I think with De Boer, Palace have too many attacking players. You look, Zaha is dangerous. Benteke, as much as he didn't fit in Liverpool, is dangerous.
Yeah.
They have enough decent players, I think, to be mid-table again. I don't see them going down.
I think Zaha, by the way, is going to have a very good season.
Yeah, he seems to be...
Not just because he's in my fantasy football team.
No, he seems to be...
the whole team giving away,
he seems to be getting better and better, doesn't he?
He does, yeah.
And he's kind of filled out his frame. And
well, he's not worried about the manager being around to see if he's knobbing the managers.
Oh, God, yeah.
Can I ask you, though, there was a tenuous link last season at some point to us and Zaha. Would you have been happy if he came along?
Yeah.
Both
yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, because if you look at Liverpool's front three as it is now, Zaha has a back up to them or being able to play even 40% of the games when needed. He's everything that Klopp looks for, really. You know, he's big, he's strong, pace, power. He can finish. There's no doubt about it.
You know, it's bugging the shit out of me. We can't think of who that third relegated side was.
Hull. I'm going to just keep saying Hull.
Sunderland. I'll keep saying them.
It was obviously someone that went down.
I'm thinking of yo-yo clubs as well. I'm after drawing a blank here, lads. I've gone through me villas. And
yeah, we'd probably have to get the championship table up from the 4th day of the season here and get it. But look, it doesn't matter who went down. If you want 3 to go down.
I fancy them to come straight back up, though.
Wherever you were.
Yeah, so give me 3
to go down.
To go down, yeah.
Huddersfield, Watford, and I hate to say about it, Brighton.
Jonathan, any discrepancies there?
So they're gone. Brighton, as much as I like their styling,
and I like Chris Hughton as well.
Chris Hughton, he was top lad, but I think they're going to get found out, unfortunately. Watford are in trouble. They're gone.
They're gone. There's no conversation. They're gone.
No point starting on Saturday.
They may as well do a miles in it. There's always one that gets sucked in, which you don't surprise.
Swansea are going to be sucked in, especially if they sell Sigurdsson.
Yeah, they're too good of a manager to be sucked back. They will be there, but I don't see them going down. There's always one that loses their manager and falls to bits. As well as the surprise element.
Just making great content.
No, I'm trying to think here now because I've done absolutely no preparation. So look, I'll go wild. I'll say Stoke.
That's just because you want Stoke to go down, though, to be fair.
Yeah, Mark goes with the big long head and
it isn't an easy question, though, to be fair. There's no standout candidates.
It's slightly easier than picking the 3 that went down last season, but no, it's not an easy question.
Yeah, like there's no Sunderland, as you said.
I'm literally sitting here going through all Liverpool's home games last season, thinking who we played, what score it was.
Oh, I do the alphabet. That's how I do it.
You know, and I don't know who went there.
I thought I had it was Cardiff and nearly jumped about the chair, and then I remembered that was like 3 or 4 years ago.
Yeah, it was 1986.
Aston Villa was the same. It wasn't them.
Yeah.
It wasn't Birmingham. I was going through every team.
Yeah, no, I can't. We'll find out later.
Wasn't Norwich either, was it?
No, wasn't Norwich. No.
That's it. There's no more teams. That's it.
That's it. It's all the teams.
Was it Derby?
No.
Wasn't Blackburn. There's no teams left.
There's no teams left.
Middlesbrough.
Great
So
show.
it was Middlesbrough.
That's the ones we fancy to go back up.
I hate, but I'm not going to. Of all the clubs, I detest watching Middlesbrough play football. They just never play decent football.
Yeah, how do we forget that? Should we go relegated and we beat them on the last day of the season?
Party bus.
Jesus, you were at the game
with the world's worst goalkeeper in the history of football.
Has he gone back to America, or he's retired, or he's?
I don't know, but he was just awful.
He plays with. It's either
he was time wasting from about 4 minutes.
It's either Orlando or
in the warm up he was time wasting.
Orlando, I watched him.
Don't be Orlando. I'm going over to see a game. I'm over there. I'm not watching that.
It was a shitty game. I watched one Friday night about midnight and I was bored. It was a local derby, Orlando and
Atlanta,
yeah. It's
one of the. He's gone home anyway.
There's one of those teams there. That's where he was parked up.
How did he manage to stay in England for that long?
No idea. His kicking is atrocious.
It's not even that. He just doesn't even dive. Like.
That's in.
He waves at it.
Yeah, it's just brutal.
Right, so we have our relegation teams. I think we've covered England enough now, lads, over the past few weeks, and we've talked about promotion, so we're going to go a bit further afield now. I'm going to give you the choice. Would you like to talk about Germany, Spain or Italy next?
I want to talk about Italy.
You happy enough to talk about Italy?
We'll talk about it. I'd like to talk to Germany at some stage as well, but we go Italy.
I want to start off, I suppose, by asking you about, do you have an Italian team that you follow particularly?
I remember watching Italian football years ago, with Channel 4 on the Saturday, and
sipping the cappuccino,
and
sipping the espresso.
And for anyone in Ireland listening, it was definitely on Network 2 on a Monday at 9:30. It was all the highlights.
It was on Channel 4 when I watched it.
Yeah.
It was on RTE2.
Just because
Network 2.
Gaza went over there, that's why the...
But it was probably the aerial on the top of my man's house picking up something that we thought. But in Italy, I suppose watching during the mid-90s, it was AC Milan, wasn't it? They were amazing. It'd probably be AC Milan still, I think.
Jonathan?
Being the football nerd that I am, I don't have a favourite team there. There's a lot of teams I would have loved. I remember Parma back in the day before they went belly up.
Yeah,
Stoichkov.
Serious team.
Yeah. Stoichkov at Parma as well.
Was he at Parma?
I'm pretty sure. I'm 99% sure Stoichkov spent time at Parma before or after he was at Barca.
Was he?
I could be well wrong here, but I have it in my head that Stoichkov.
I remember
was
Buffon at Parma, Thuram. Who else was there? Zola was there before he went to Chelsea.
Yeah, and then they were an amazing team. Lazio through the 90s as well were amazing.
Yes. Fiorentina had the best kits though. The Nintendo on the front of the purple shirts.
I always liked Sampdoria for some reason as well.
Napoli are my side.
Are they your side?
Just from Maradona.
Yeah, no.
From that time onwards.
They had that 2 or 3 years ago in the Champions League where they had that front three of Cavani. What's the crazy guy that's in France now? Laza.
Oh yeah, they had
Lazelli.
Levezzi.
Oh no, Levezzi. He's in China now, isn't he?
Oh, he's taking the shillings.
He took a slight pay rise to go to China.
If you look at them now, though, the team that most remind me of Liverpool in that attacking wise, they are phenomenal, but they cannot defend for shit.
Yeah, and that's why we're linked to Koulibaly often. Is that?
That's why I was saying the whole time I don't want Koulibaly because I've watched a lot of Napoli and they just can't defend.
Yeah, of course, Milan, AC were. That team they had
the mid-90s was
Maldini.
Just unbelievable. And of course I always had a bit of a soft spot for Juventus as well, because although it's not the most purest football, they play like that back three you want to call.
So you're both glory hunters then?
I admire a lot of Italian teams. It's not like I have a favourite.
From different phases, I suppose. Milan in the mid-90s when you had Van Basten, you had Hullet, Rijkaard, Baresi, Maldini.
It used to be the league, wasn't it? Like that was where you went. That was the creme de la creme.
It was unbelievable, and you'd watch them playing, and like when you think about it now, what a shame Van Basten had to retire so early because he was absolutely unbelievable as a player, as a striker. But just watching them, they were.
Did David Platt go to Sampdoria? Was it?
David Platt went to Bari, didn't he? He originally went to Bari, I think, in Italy, and then
our own Chippy went over as well, didn't he?
Yeah, Brady, but Corsunes went I think he played with Sampdoria. But no, it was Milan in the mid-90s, and like you kind of lose touch with these leagues, especially when everything went wrong over there with corruption and all sorts of stuff.
What Milan player I loved because he was a snide little fucker, Gattuso.
I did like him, yeah.
I loved him. He was a snidey little bastard.
Yeah, and I remember, didn't your man Papan play for
Jean-Pierre Papin played for Marseille.
Yeah, and then it went to Milan.
Yeah. Oh, he was the name on the back of my shirt. You know when you go to Spain and you get the fake shirts all over this. Jean-Pierre Papin was on a few of my shirts.
No, he was really good. But he'd some turnover players. You know, not just homegrown players, but players he brought in and out, and like George Weah at Milan. Unreal. Geez. But no, I still have a soft spot for Milan, even though all the troubles they've gone through. But that looks like it's changing now because they're just blowing teams out of the water now.
Well, I suppose just to go back a little bit further from Milan, you have to give huge credit to Juventus for the relegations that they got for the match fixing or whatever, and then to build back up, build a new stadium, leave Stadio delle Alpi and come back and build up to what they are now, which is
incredible.
A machine, like
they're a superpower.
They're so clever at they're buying players just before they start going down.
Yeah.
Like, for instance, last year, the fullback that they took, Danny Alves, they might have only got a year out of him, but what a year they're after getting out of him. Like.
Yeah. Didn't they have Khedira as well? They had problems at Real Madrid with injuries and stuff like that.
Gonzalo Higuain, I know they paid what they paid for him, but the man is a machine when it comes to scoring goals.
I never liked him, but I see your point.
Was it last summer that Klopp was supposed to be in America or something talking? His agent or his brother was in the stand. I was saying Hail Marys and everything at home.
Do you think when it comes to Italy, then do you think, it's obviously it's still pre-season, and Juventus usually, if they don't pull away early, they usually hold the gap there, and keep that gap between them and the rest, and just get over the line? Do you think you'll see more of the likes of, well, obviously Juventus, Napoli's being mentioned, the two Milan clubs have spent
who I think are going to struggle at Roma. Because they're after obviously giving us Salah, Rudiger, and they are after signing what's that gobshite's name with the mohawk and the tattoos all over his neck, that plays for them, that was linked with United.
Oh yeah.
Oh, Nangolan, is it?
Yeah, he's just signed a new 5-year contract as well in the last day or two, from what I can gather. And they've lost Chesney as well to Juventus, so they've weakened a lot. And now what they have is Monchi, so. What they have going for them is probably one of the best guys at buying players in Europe.
I did see something saying that he'd sold Salah and Rudiger for somewhere around the 60 million mark or whatever it was, and he brought in 4 players for fucking 25 million or something like that.
They're after throwing down their biggest ever transfer fee, which is €30 million for Mahrez.
Right,
they're hoping to get that over the line. That's Monchi is. I don't know if they'll accept it or not, but that's the one they want to replace Salah.
It just seems very cheap at €40 million, doesn't it?
It does. But I suppose they're not working in the same same league as Premier League clubs at the minute, really.
UK.
Yeah, but could you, if the likes of an Arsenal went in for him, you're looking at 50 million easy.
Easily. Well, you look at Sigurdsson is going for 50-ish.
Yeah, but I suppose that's the Premier League tax.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah.
So what they'll probably do is bring him in, he'll have one great season, and then somebody in the Premier League will buy him back for twice the money next year.
Just do a partnership with some Italian team to just park him there.
Monchi's just brilliant at what he does, Could you imagine Monchi at Chelsea? Like, the way they turn over players and make
worrying,
money.
Wouldn't it? Monchi at Arsenal, I'd be very worried if he had ended up at Arsenal.
Yeah, because they are picky about what they do, but he picks quality. So if...
I looked at Roma last year, and what I thought was, this is why I was so excited when Salah came. Anybody who can make Dzeko look like a good footballer is tops at me, and Salah was phenomenal.
So you don't rate Dzeko then?
No, not at all. Not by a long shot. I watch probably, without exaggerating, between 10 and 15 football matches a week. I watch mainly because I gamble on most of them, but I watch an awful lot of football, especially Italian League, Premier League, and watch a little bit of France and obviously Spain. But I know Italian football, I wouldn't say really well, but well enough to know that I'd be very worried for Roma this year.
Good show. Will we? If you're looking at it, then are you still looking at Juventus as the team to beat, or do you think anyone can upset it?
But Milan, like if things go right with Milan and all those signings, I know there's a hell of a lot of them, but there's some decent enough players in between them all. If they click, I think they're...
Fabio Borini's a superstar.
How is that guy? I'd love to be who's to know who his agent is, because like, he's getting these moves.
But he's Italian, going back to Italy, and they probably have a quote to fill as well. Because if you look at the players they've signed, I couldn't name them all, but there's probably a lot of foreign lads in it.
Can you know, who were the big signings? Can you just remember who the big signings
do you know what?
Made?
I'll be perfectly honest with you. All I know, I've seen a couple of the names. They've gone completely on my head. But what I will say is, I did see somebody tweet up a picture of the possible Milan team, and when I read it, I went, "Holy shit!" And I don't even remember them signing them.
They've got Donnarumma to sign a new contract as well, haven't they? The keeper,
yeah.
Which is that's big business for them.
Yeah, because he's a decent keeper.
So looking at Italy, are we still going Juventus?
Yeah, but it's tough, as Jonathan was kind of just hinting at there. The Milan clubs, Chinese money into both Milan clubs, Inter and AC. Although it doesn't seem Inter have splashed the money as much.
They don't seem to have yet. I know us.
I don't think they were in the best of positions. You see, I think they might be kind of shoring things up there, and then you might see them kick on again next year. Whereas Milan, obviously, you know, with Berlusconi there, as mad as he was, he had plenty of dough, you know. But I'd love to see an Italian league this year where it's not just Juventus holding the likes of a Napoli or Roma at arm's length, and the rest are kind of fodder behind them. I'd love to see both Milan clubs, Napoli, Roma, and Juventus all go at it. A real kind of, a bit like the Premier League, you know, where you have 5 or 6 that can really go for it. And if it does happen, all it'll do is get people watching it again.
Below them front, well, last year the top 3 were Juventus, Roma and Napoli, but below that it is very competitive. It was last year especially. I remember like Fiorentina, where they go on runs, they were there or thereabouts, really tough to beat at home. But it's a very, very competitive league, and as you said, it is an enjoyable league to watch again, where it went through years of being just absolute tripe.
Yeah, it was defence against defence, wasn't it? For years, and you had very good technical players in it, and some players were lovely to watch. But when you just watched it, you just thought, no, but they were more about not losing the game than actually going to try win it. And maybe that'll change with the influx of different players coming in now to all these clubs. And you know what? If Napoli are as good going forward as you say they are, I hope Milan do well. But look, let's have a little tip on Napoli as well.
I'm definitely going Napoli for. Definitely nailed on for the Champions League spot in my mind. They only have the top 3 Champions League places in Italy. So
do we have to get Grizz on to see how many goals they're going to calculate? How many goals they're going to score?
No, but to be fair, with the front line that they have, especially Insigne, I love watching him. He's a very tidy little player.
If it's anything over 86, Grizz will take about a week and a half to add it up. So
yeah,
no, we leave Grizz out with this one.
I can't see past Juve though, even with Milan splashing the cash. Can you?
They have that squad, don't they, where they're settled and they can be the most consistent in what you said is a competitive league. So
and at home,
hold on to Dembele as well. Like
at home, they're a machine.
Yeah, I'd expect them to win, but you'd like to see some of the other clubs to mention their Milan,
just
Napoli.
push them.
Exactly. Yeah, because it's been for so long. It's been a 1-horse race.
They have made one big error, and that's changing their badge. Have you seen the state of the Juventus badge?
Yeah, it's a new rebrand, is it?
It's like early clip art from Windows or something like it's appalling. It's just basically a J, and they had that beautiful.
It was such
the iconic crest. One, yeah. So we're going Juventus anyway for it to finish up with Italy. We'll go Juventus, yeah.
I'm gonna go Juventus, Napoli, and AC Milan for the Champions League places.
Yeah, I'd agree.
Yeah, clean slate.
I'm not even going to pretend to go into the relegation battle.
No, no. I don't know.
It's not happening. There's not enough research.
If we can't even name the 3 teams in the Premiership that got relegated.
Just naming another 3 in Italy is be a problem.
Breaking news though, lads. Is there one player you always wanted to bring to Liverpool where money was no object and you just wanted to bring him? So shout me one now. Just
from Italy?
Anywhere in the world. Just give me a player that you want at Liverpool now. Doesn't matter how crazy it is.
Messi.
Right, Messi. I've figured out a way we can buy him.
Right.
I figured out a way we can do it and not break FFP. So Liverpool are pitching for the Commonwealth Games in 2022. Apparently the new thing is we're just going to make one ambassador for the games.
Right.
And just pay him. Liverpool as a town will just pay him.
I'll go Neymar on us.
Yeah, and it's just sponsorship for us, nothing to do with Liverpool the club.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what we're doing. Neymar is going to be the official ambassador.
Yeah, but instead of having third party ownership, you're going to have like 500,000 people owning them.
It's going to be a sponsorship.
They'll all have a hair each.
It could get messy.
It's going to be it will get messy. It'll get messy over to Liverpool for 2022. I can't go past talking about European football, by the way, without bringing that fucking ridiculous deal.
That's just a farce.
It's not even a football deal. We all know that. It's basically a government buying them.
I did say that to you on a previous pod.
Yeah.
I said I think it'll happen because of that.
Yeah, and he's making up as many excuses as he can. He wants to do this and he wants a new challenge and he wants... Listen, it's money, you know, it's absolute money. Him and his father are going after 23 million in loyalty bonus off Barcelona now, despite 515 grand a week after tax. So.
And the 35 he got for signing on.
Yeah, look, leave him to it. You know, if he's happy playing in front of 8,000 and 9,000 people in France, you know, fair play.
I suppose that's kind of led us into France. We might as well stay there for a minute or two over there. Also, PSG have been linked with Mbappe this week. Seriously,
you'd feel. I feel a bit sorry for Monaco here.
Can they get a second ambassador?
He'd probably be the ambassador for the ambassador.
Maybe his assistant or something like that.
Yeah, he could be anything. Like they could make up anything as they go along. And listen, if you allow a government to buy a player for you, if that's what's happened, you know, football itself needs to have a hard look at itself. It really does.
I lost my shit when the whole Red Bull thing was allowed. That for me was the end.
These on two separate entities. The jerseys are the exact same.
The badges are the exact same.
Yeah.
One's called RB.
Yeah, but would you not feel sorry a bit for Monaco? Like, in fairness, Monaco 3 or 4 years ago came in with, I think it was a Russian chap who spent mental money.
Yeah.
It didn't work for them.
Brought them up as well from League Two.
Yeah, it didn't work for them. They tried it one season. Paris Saint-Germain kind of slapped them down, and then they decided to change it a little bit, bring in more youth through their ranks and stuff. And the team they put together was brilliant.
It was brilliant. It was one of the most exciting teams.
But look,
they got Falcao looking good again as well.
They did. But the guy that couldn't even get off his wheelchair at United or Chelsea.
Yeah, but you look at them now, and you see Mendy's gone, Bakayoko's gone, and Bap looks like he'll go. Bernardo Silva, you know, they're being picked apart, and it's a bit galling when you see them being picked apart and a team up the road are able to do what they're doing. You know, that kind of way.
Yeah, it is. But to be fair, any player that gets to live in Monaco as a city as well.
Yeah, but like,
have you seen their training ground?
It's just sick.
I
think if like France is quite hard to talk about because again, how many people actually watches French football on the regular? You do.
Well, but Nice, you can't Nice are that club that always seem to be punching above their weight. Like they're after signing Snyder. Now I know he's 33, but they're after signing him this week.
Yeah.
They have Brizzelli.
There'll be no issues with you know, players applying themselves and disciplinary stuff with Schneider and Balotelli.
They're nailed on to win the FIFA Fair Play for once.
Yeah, like they won't have any issues there, but it's just if Paris Saint-Germain signed the likes of Neymar and whoever else they bring in didn't make it a one horse race, I think what's happening to Monaco definitely does now. You know, like I think Nice, like you said, punched above their weight last season, done very well. I was actually hoping for them to actually go and win it. But they didn't in the end. I think they came third in the end. Monaco had an exceptional season. I think they scored about 200 goals all season. They were mad.
They were one of my
most favourite teams to watch.
To win an over 2.5 goals last season, they won me a lot of money.
Yeah. But that's as much as people might like watching French football and stuff like that. I think it's a one horse race. There's just
it is, and it's gone past the one horse race. It's got, as you said, it's a disgrace that they're allowed to get.
Do you know what it is? It's basically PSG putting their own league on the back burner and saying that'll look after itself. We're just going after Europe. That's what it is. You know, we can all go on about teams in England and all they know European football and but
we moan about Man City about what they're doing and how they're massaging the figures. But these lads, Jonathan, they just don't care.
Yeah,
it's
but why would you care? Because like tell me any team that has a points deduction that has I don't think it's happened. If it has, I don't think it's affected them in any way. And B, tell me a fine that they've got that they haven't just looked at, laughed, written a check, sent it off and says thanks very much. That'll do us for another year. Like the FFP is it's a farce. It's an absolute farce. And I'm not saying that because Liverpool try to adhere to it or different teams try to adhere to it. But you see teams like Roma. Roma had to sell Mohamed Salah to make a payment to be in line with
30
FFP.
million or something they had to come up with.
So
or 36, sorry.
there's no way in hell that the likes of PSG have a turnover, right, that justifies 222 million from somebody else to be paid for.
It's a joke.
It's, like, you know what I mean? It's absolutely ridiculous.
The whole principle of FAP is gone well and truly down the toilet.
Yeah.
Like the two ways of punishing them, we'll stick with PSG. You say a fine, they're just gonna laugh it off.
Yeah. And I'm talking a £10 million fine.
Any sort of fine in the world.
Yeah.
They're just gonna laugh it off.
All they can understand is a European ban. That's all they'll understand.
And a local points reduction in the French league.
But the only way you could hit them is, like you said, a European ban. Football is not. No, just hit them with a 50-point ban at the start of the season in France. Hit them with 50 points and say to them, you're out of Europe and there's a 50-point ban to go with it. So you're out of Europe this season and you're not getting it next season either. You'd be lucky to stay up.
Do you know what pisses me off though? When
what happens
anything...
is then players leave. Players do leave then because they're not fucking playing with
but
50.
The thing about it is it's Monaco. It's such an amazing city. They have so much dough. They're gonna attract in people.
PSG.
PSG. Yeah, of course. They're going to wrap up players again. You just look at China. All these shitty clubs just wrapping up players. Money talks.
I got a pain in my arse with the arbitration for sport courts that then will go and let the clubs, like, they'll, if you say give them a 50-point ban, by the time they finish with the arbitration for sport, it'll be 20. Like, they need to back up. If UEFA or FIFA have the balls to actually do something, then they need to be backed up.
You see what's in place, you see, because is it a clear structure in place where you say to somebody, if for argument's sake your turnover is, or your
can't
income,
lose more than 30 million over 3 years.
Okay.
From what I can gather.
Okay, right. Or is it something along the lines of, if you take in 100 million, you can only spend 60. You know, there's a cap on what you can spend as opposed to your income. 220 million euros is more than Paris Saint-Germain's actual income. There's no doubt about that.
That's before his damn wages, or Marco Ferrari's wages, or Cavani's wages.
This is where the rich owners come from. The rich owners come in and say, you need a short sponsor. Should we sponsor ourselves? There's $500 million.
But what's the end goal for them, right? They want to win the Champions League. But in order to win the Champions League, realistically, you have to be sharp. You have to be getting challenged, and they won't be. So they can't just show up for the big European games and think they can just turn it on.
No, I know. But the way they look at it is, if we can have enough quality, we can.
I don't think they'll ever win it.
Well, they never really bothered me up until a week ago. That's being honest with you. And now I'm looking at it going, look, lads, as a football fan, forget a Liverpool fan or anything else, as a football fan, I'm looking going, look, this is getting out of hand now.
Do you think Neymar is, I'm not looking, that one's worth 220 fucking million, but do you think he is as good, is he that third best player in the world?
Who's the first two?
Messi and Ronaldo, I suppose, if we're going like that. And I would put Suarez third.
Yeah, he probably is in around there, but you see, it's not only is he a good player, it's a brand. And it's you know,
fair point.
Like, I put it to this way, if Ronaldo was 30 years of age today, Ronaldo could go for that money, because he's a brand. It's all about brand. It's all about, you know, what people see, what you want people to see.
Well, from a footballing perspective, then, if we're just going to be...
No, he's not worth 222 million.
But is he the third best player in the world? Excuse me.
No,
I'd say he's in the
top 5 or 6.
You look, for me, it's Messi, Ronaldo, Suarez.
There's a couple more. Just like different players, different people will have different views on who their best players are because of the style of football they like, or where they played themselves when they were a kid, or what position they liked. You know, so you can get variants on everything, but it's 220 million. That's all you have to say to yourself. It's
ridiculous.
You know, like we go on about Pogba, 89 million, complete waste of money in my opinion. Now he may show up this season, but he's not 90 million or 89 million's worth. So are you telling me that Neymar has 110 million pounds worth more than Paul Pogba? You know, it's simply not true.
It's crazy. It is, yeah. No, it's crazy.
But it's a one. Look, getting to France, it's a one horse race, and you know, if you're going to put money on anyone else other than PSG to win the league, you're throwing your money away. Simple as that.
Right. So I suppose we've covered the relegation battle in England. We've covered France being corrupt as fuck. Basically, we've covered
Italy,
and we're all on for Napoli to do well there. I don't care what you're saying. We all want Napoli to do well there. La Liga. It's another one of those leagues, isn't it? You could make an argument for it to be a 3-team league, but it's really a 2-team league, surely. Like
It is two.
You could have, but the Atletico transfer ban puts an end to that.
It actually, you know what? I have a funny thing about this. I actually think that worked out well for them because Griezmann has been loyal.
Yeah, no, he has been loyal, but you see, they're now with a squad that's another year older, another year under Simeone's reign, where there's no freshness, and you know how hard he works them. He's very similar to Mourinho. He gets so much out of players that are literally on their knees by the end of the season.
Why isn't that Dutch fool then moaning about Simeone, by the way?
Who?
That Raymond van der
the egg.
Muppet. Yeah, that's him.
Because he's too busy obsessed with us. So and he's an egg. So like, why are people even responding to him? But I'm looking at it and I'm just.
I just look at their defence. To be fair, I just look at Godin and I just think, what a player.
Yeah,
He's a serious player.
But you always need freshness, Craig. You always need that little bit of injection into the squad, you know. Like,
but look who they signed last year that they didn't play much. Like they have they signed Vieto, didn't they?
Vieto's a good player.
They have your man that they signed from Benfica as well. What's his name? He came on against us in the Audi Cup final there recently. Oh, his name escaped me. I'll come back to it in a minute. They have
Goitan.
Yeah, Nico Goitan. He's a very good footballer. The goalkeeper is the one who I'd want. If I could go and pick a goalkeeper now. They've got Griezmann. I know Torres is coming near the end. They've got the other striker as well. French again.
Yeah, the chap that was with Sevilla.
Yeah,
his name's gone out of my head. I'm trying to think of it.
Kevin De Bruyne just keeps popping into my head.
No, it's Kevin Gamero.
Yeah, Kevin. He's a very good footballer, and they like Gaetan in particular wasn't used much last year by Atletico, so I think there is some freshness there, and they aren't too bad about bringing through youth players either, to be fair. And they've got their new stadium as well. That should give them a boost. They're moving into the new stadium.
Don't see them breaking the top two though.
No, I don't think it, because I just think you do need that freshness. Someone comes in that gives them that extra little bit of buzz or a little bit of competition, where with that squad having to stay the same, you can end up with people just kind of being set in their ways and comfortable where they are. And you don't want players to be comfortable. You want them on their toes. You know, and now look, you could get a siege mentality from them. It's us against everyone and it could push them on. But when you look at the quality of Barcelona, they go on about, but Real Madrid have a serious squad when it comes to quality. Like, you've seen it in the Champions League last season, in the final especially. They just had that so much power.
Don't talk to me about the final. That cost me.
No, I know it did, but when you look at them, Barcelona are these pretty teams to watch, but
they're efficient. Real Madrid are very
efficient, but they have that power and they have that little bit. They have that special moment in them, you know, from a couple of players. But it'll be definitely them too.
Can I ask though? Neither of them have really done much in the market in regards to really going out there and making a statement. Or like, I know now Barcelona have that Coutinho money burning a hole in their pocket.
Yeah. But they have no money, Barca, you see.
That's what people don't understand. Yeah. People seem to forget Barcelona were already struggling to pay to renew the contracts of Messi, Neymar and Suarez just to keep them there. Mm-hmm. They also have to come up with 600 million to redo their stadium according to the plans that they've released, because it's a very, very old stadium. The Camp Nou, it's an amazing stadium, but so they need to come up with that as well. And it's run by its members, as you know, as well. So yeah, you're right. There isn't a lot of money there.
No, I see them making one big signing as a replacement. I'm hoping it's Dembele.
So am I for a couple of reasons.
Is it Dembele, Diabala, Coutinho's the ones? But
Verratti, they won't give up on Verratti either.
No, Verratti. But just to touch on this for a second, the mayhem going on around Coutinho at the minute, and he's agreed to leave, and he's given out in training, and he refuses to train, and he's told Liverpool he wants to leave if he can do this. Look, at the end of the day, there's been one quote on this, and the one quote came from Jurgen Klopp, and it was, "He's not for sale. You don't need to translate this. Not for sale." And if he's sold by FSG from under his nose, I said it, FSG have signed their own P45 as far as I'm concerned.
Yeah, no,
Cara said it as well.
Carry up with the threatening words out there. I don't see it happening this year. I really don't. I see Barca going for Dembele. He'll kind of replace them in that front three role, and Coutinho he's the NES to replace him in a deeper midfield.
Yeah, I'd agree with you.
He's kind of getting groomed for that role as well.
Yeah. Somebody made a very good point as well, exactly about Iniesta, as you said. Like He's only just started to play that position, so why not let him have another year at Liverpool?
It's the perfect thing
where he gets Champions League experience in that
yeah.
position.
Yeah, and he's groomed, and Klopp and Liverpool can go to him and say, look, stay here a year, get used to this position, and then you'll have your move to, and you can play for the next 10 years for Barcelona in centre midfield.
We're still looking at those as the top three though.
Like, you can't look past it, can you? Like, Villarreal are nonsense. Valencia have been shocking.
An absolute mess.
Yeah.
Bilbao are always 6th, 7th, thereabouts.
Sevilla,
a strong side.
well.
Sevilla, they're a strange old egg. Sevilla, they were shocking away from home last season. Like, really, really poor. But geez, they owned the Europa League, didn't they?
It's about consistency again, isn't it?
It is.
You can have patches and you can do well and you can probably push up 8, 7, 6, but
I do like watching the Liga though, I have to say.
Yeah, it's great. Technically, it's brilliant. There is pace to it. There is pace, let's be honest with you.
No, it's a good league to watch. It's going to be, if go back to kind of predictions on the top, I think it's Atletico third, and then it's a flip between Real, the power, the pace, that bit of a mean machine that they have, as opposed to a bit more stylish play from Barca. If Barca get Dembele, I think you're going to see another lease of life out of Messi, just because he has to. There's a bit of a kind of has to show him that, look, I'm the number one here. You know, Neymar was only my deputy or whatever. I think he's a little bit of point to prove is too strong a word to say, but I think he has to show some people, and I think he'll be pretty driven. I know there's a lot of...
He's lost the Ballon d'Or now for the last 2 years.
Yeah, he needs a kickback, I think. And I think you'll see that this season, and I would edge towards Barca.
Would you?
Yeah.
I'd edge towards Real. I think they're more settled in what they're doing. I think they have a better structure.
I think if they just click, just for the simple reason that bit of kickback you'll see off Messi.
Yeah, I think Dembele could tear that league up if he goes to Barcelona.
Yeah, it's some rise from him, isn't it? 15 million last summer.
And as good as Neymar was,
15 this year.
As good as Neymar was, he didn't have the lightning pace that Dembele has, and that will make a big difference, because Barca weren't a fast side
they had no
at all. They had no pace at all. So I think Dembele, and then whoever they buy, they will buy at least 2 more players with the money they have, but Dembele for me would tip it in Barca's favour, unless
it's 2
Madrid.
to 1. I'll stay with Madrid.
See, the thing about Madrid is I just hate everything about the club. Everything.
I
hate
there's not
the
much,
elitist nature of the club. I hate Ronaldo.
There's not much to like there, but
I loved Zidane. I loved Fat Ronaldo.
Yeah, when I look at them, I just see them just really a really strong unit that can dog a game sometimes, and just Ronaldo can come up with something. But you have the likes of,
can't take a free kick though.
You know, yeah. But you have Bale, you have Benzema, you have Isco, Modric, Kroos, Casemiro, who's
Ramos.
a dirty fucker like Casemiro. Ramos. They've decided to end the fair play league this year and got rid of Pepe. So
he went to Turkey or somewhere, didn't he?
Was it Turkey or Benfica? I thought I heard Benfica mentioned. I heard he was leaving, then I forgot all about him. But I just edge it for Real, I think. As things stand, you never know how it changes in the next couple of weeks. They
both have to do a lot in the market, I think.
They might do 1 or 2 things.
Although Barca need it more, I'd say.
Barca do need it more, but with these few links of Kovacic maybe on his way out of Madrid, they might be looking at something there.
It could all change though. If any of them, whichever one of them, it'd probably be one of the 2. Good chance of signing Mbappe, so that could just flip the whole thing up in the air again.
Yeah, it could do. I think if I still go Real, I'll just go just.
Right, really quickly before we finish up, we'll zoom over to Germany.
Mm-hmm.
Hoffenheim, we should give a little conversation to seeing as we're about to knock them out of the Champions League final qualifying round. Jonathan, I'm not going to talk again. I did watch a lot of German football last year, and I did watch Hoffenheim a lot, and I was really impressed by their manager.
Yeah, nice, bright young manager, played decent football.
They've lost their best players again, like Sula, I think. Wasn't he at Hoffenheim?
Yeah.
I think he's
gone, as far as I know.
I don't know where he went to. You did say this to me, and I didn't know where he went to. I thought you said Bayern
Munich, as far as I can remember.
He didn't play against us though last week, did he?
No. No, I could be wrong, but just to the best of my knowledge, that deal was done, and he was a man mountain. We nicked Firmino, obviously, as we know. The manager is very young, and
they had another guy a couple of years ago. His name escapes me. He was Volland.
Kevin Volland,
Yeah, really good player.
Kevin Volland went to I think maybe he is still there. He could still be there actually. I know he was.
No, I think he left.
He was thought really highly of by the German national team as well.
Yeah.
But they just got over the line. Like they pushed Dortmund all the way. But Hoffenheim and Dortmund, like neither of them, they just about got there. Again, you can't look past Bayern Munich, Jonathan, can you?
No.
And they're not that great anymore either, but
but they're still the big fish in Germany. It's impossible to look past them.
I thought they looked very
old.
one-dimensional.
They looked
very old against us now.
They did, and Ancelotti I don't see him surviving long there because I think that's a dying club. But you look, I think they'll struggle in Europe. I really do. But you look around, like Dortmund. They wobbled a bit. Are they going to come back?
And they got rid of their manager, haven't they, again?
Yeah, they have. So they're starting again, and you look at Dembele going, and then there just seem to be constantly having to rebuild. I think they're going to struggle. Look, Red Bull.
Well, Red Bull they look more intent on keeping their players than actually putting that together, don't they?
Yeah.
They love talking about it though.
Yeah.
Oh well, look, he's not for sale.
Yeah.
You know.
Who are we talking? Not the Ashans.
That fella they keep talking about 12 times a day.
Do you want to buy
on
him?
the hour, every hour.
Do you want to buy him? Yeah.
You know what I mean? Every time Jim White comes on the telly, Leipzig jump up and go, "Hold on a minute, Jim, it's air one."
So like, it's very hard to see them progress. I know that they had a very good season last year. I don't see them making the breakthrough on Munich. I really don't.
Well, looking at Munich, like I know it was a pre-season friendly, but I thought it was played at a serious pace, and there was between ourselves and them, and there was a lot of intensity in the game. But to me, they looked a bit disjointed. They looked a bit slow. They looked a little bit one-dimensional. Like we've talked about, Ribery and Robin are 33 and 34. I think both quality players, but I think I could be completely wrong here. They could be brilliant next season, but Ribery in particular looked a bit leggy.
I hate him.
You know, he looked a bit leggy, but it wasn't even that. They just looked. Liverpool were excellent going forward, but if you watched how Liverpool moved the ball, and it was literally 2 passes, and Coutinho was in the middle of the pitch, and it was open for him, and there was runs going everywhere, and their centre halves didn't know what to be doing. They didn't know where to be stepping. They looked very disorganised, and the one thing that done it for me was the camera kept cutting to Ancelotti, and for a pre-season friendly, the guy looked completely and utterly lost sitting at the bench.
Yeah, he did.
He looked as if he was looking into the distance, chewing gum, and his eyes were glazed over.
They do have Vidal though. I love Vidal.
Yeah, Vidal's a great player, but
he's a dirty bastard.
No, they could go into the market and do things. You can always rely on Lewandowski for so many goals, but
they are probably one of the most financially secure football clubs, and they are the best run football club in the world.
Yeah, no, but
there's no shortage of money there.
Yeah, no, there's no shortage of money, and they probably will go into the market again. Where do they go? Do they shop around Germany again? Do they pick up? They got James Rodriguez, who I think is one of the most overrated players I've ever seen.
A ridiculous loan, by the way.
He's one of the most overrated players I've ever seen.
Can you imagine any English club asking for him on loan? What they'd be told?
Yeah, but that's just the way it is. There could be a deal in the future going the other way. You know, in a year's time, it could be a case of Bayern want Cruz back next season, and
they
that's
always
a sweetener. And
Manuel Neuer as well.
You know,
can't look past him.
But it's just, to me, they looked. Again, it was on one game, but in fairness, the game they played the day later, they weren't any much better against, and I think it was Napoli, was it? They played the following day, and they looked a bit lethargic again. I still think they'll win it, but I think you might see a couple of teams get a little bit closer to them, and again, a bit like Italy, instead of them holding their arms length, there might be a little bit of a push. Hopefully there is. Just
touching on Leipzig there, I don't think they're going to be as good this season as they were last, because I think they caught a lot of teams cold last season.
Yeah.
And they fell away as the season progressed towards the end.
And when they lose Keita, they're going to be in trouble, aren't they, as well?
That's not for sale.
It's not for sale, but
I don't even know who you're talking about.
Although I will say I watched a lot of German football, I really did not watch a lot of Leipzig, so I've seen a little bit of Timo Werner, but he impressed me more with the German squad at the Confederations Cup. So I'm not even going to pretend to know a lot about Leipzig. I know they're not liked very much in Germany.
they're not liked because of the way they've come up through a little bit like Chelsea in England. You know, they were nowhere to be seen. A lot of money pumped into them. A guy took an opportunity, seen an opportunity, and went for it. And they've risen and risen and risen, and they're not liked because of that.
They used Salzburg as their almost like not their feeder club as such, but like their training club.
They're not associated.
Not anymore. No, definitely not.
They're nothing to do with them.
They cut that can in half.
But yeah, they're not liked because of that. And like if you look at Dortmund and Munich, probably big rivals, but there's a mutual respect there. I don't think there's a lot of respect for this club, and it's got to take them years and years and years to get anywhere near respect in Germany. You know.
Another very, very good, strong, solid league that even the mid-table sides are playing good football in. I liked watching a bit of Mönchengladbach. They played some good stuff as well.
Schalke.
Yeah, Schalke can be hit and miss as well. They can be amazing when they turn it on. Wolfsburg have really fallen apart though.
Yeah.
They aren't. They used to be. I think it's with a Volkswagen having to pay out millions and millions in emissions.
The emissions just went crazy.
Yeah, they haven't got the backing that they used to have. But do you know what? It's a very, very good, technically strong league.
Yeah, I like watching it. It's actually the one I do like watching. I think it's probably most similar to the English game. You know, it's probably physical.
A little bit more technical, perhaps.
A little bit more technical, but there is a physicality to it. There is a speed to it.
Best league for goalkeepers in the world, by the way.
Yeah, but I love the atmospheres of the games. You know, there's rail seating, and so I think they're great.
I don't like this whole singing for the sake of it.
No, I get that, but I think that the colour and the noise is good when you're watching the game. I get your point. It can be a little bit pre-rehearsed and, you know, orchestrated kind of support, whereas you want more kind of off-the-cuff kind of support. But
great, affordable league for the fans as well.
Yeah, absolutely.
I saw something there today that it's £1 cheaper to buy a match ticket for the Champions League tie over in Germany for the Liverpool game than it is to watch the Watford game on a big screen in Anfield this season or this weekend.
I've seen that. Yeah, they charge £19 at Anfield this season,
and the ticket in Germany is £18.
To be fair to the club, they charge £19 and I think maybe 11 for kids or something. But there is food thrown in there, and there is an ex-player and stuff. But it's a money grab. It is what it is. But going back to Germany,
it's something different though. You know,
what I can gather, people I spoke to that have been to games in Germany. So if you have your match ticket, that covers you then for public transport to and from the games as well.
Efficiency, isn't it? It's German, isn't it?
I think there was season tickets in Bayern Munich for something ridiculous like 200 odd quid or something, wasn't it?
Yeah, it's.
And they said, look, we could make a few million by charging the fans more, but we don't really need it, so we don't see the point in fleecing the fans.
Have Bayern in particular, they have a nail down as to what way to do it. Keep your fans on side, keep them happy. And they're coming into a ground knowing they're getting a decent price ticket and they're willing to raise an atmosphere like that.
And they're getting decent grub, they're getting a decent fan experience. As you said, the rail seating helps a lot as well. The atmospheres, it's a family culture at the games. It just seems to be everything that we'd like to associate English football with.
Yeah.
But
you may get there.
A lot of it's missing.
You may get there.
Maybe, that's true. We might get there, but very strong league. Probably, as you said, one of my favourite leagues in Europe. I think pretty much leave it there. I touched on my fantasy football league as well, as by the way, throughout the show. I don't know if you noticed those occasional little drop-ins.
You gave half your team away.
I've been taking notes here the whole time. I haven't my team done yet, so I've just been copying all yours.
The only note I have is to remember to put a team in tomorrow.
That's 6:45.
Or I'll have a Craig in the ear going, never went in the fucking day.
So, as everybody knows, the Premier League starts this Friday even. I keep going to say Saturday, but it's Friday now.
Arsenal, Leicester Friday night.
As usual, we're running the Anfield Road Wolves Fantasy Football League. This year, we've stuck our hands in our pockets, actually, to come up with some prizes. So my family will be doing without a lot throughout the year. Gav's per kids are running around with no shoes, and his missus isn't allowed to go out for the year.
But he's still allowed to have cans.
Jonathan's contract stipulates that his lifestyle can't be changed in any way, shape or form.
No, he can't, no.
So what we're doing is, for the winner of our Fantasy Premier League, we're going to give an 18-19 shirt. And the reason we're going for the 18-19 shirt is because, look, it'll be May when it's over, and we don't want to be giving people this season's shirt as a prize when the season's pretty much over. So what we're going to do is, the first place can pick the home, the away, or the third, we said, didn't we? We're happy with that?
Yeah, free choice.
And you can pick your name, your number, a Premier League badge, and look, if you want to be stupid enough to put the Western Union badge on the side of it, we'll cover that as well. Second place and third place will both get any of the 3 jerseys that they like. Just no name, number and badges. Just be the first, the second or the third shirt. If by some crazy scenario we have a winner that is somewhere really crazy like Cape Verde or somewhere that postage is going to cost us a ridiculous amount, to be fair, what we're going to do is we're going to transfer through PayPal or whatever the easiest method is. We're going to give them the value of the shirt, so whether it be €75, €80, £60, whatever it is.
I think we do that because we've had it a few times where we've tried the same prices to people, and in certain countries we will pay for it to be shipped, and when it gets to that country, the receiver is then charged a ridiculous amount of money. It's literally the same price as what it's cost us, and it's not fair on them people. So I think that's the easiest way to do it. If by any chance anyone's in the league and they're not a Liverpool fan, we will offer them the money for it instead of a Liverpool jersey, because we're definitely not buying United or Arsenal or Chelsea. He's going to fuck off. It's not happening.
It's not happening.
No, don't even consider it.
If you're a League of Ireland fan and you win the league, we're all over that. We're happy to buy a jersey in League of Ireland. We save a few bob on postage as well.
Yeah,
so that's a few cans for Gav.
If you win and it's a League of Ireland and it's Rovers, I might even be able to help you out with some signatures and stuff on that. If it's Bows, it's definitely not happening. I'm not doing that either. So
the 3 of yous out there that support Shamrock Rovers, take that note.
You're on thin ice now.
There's a couple of changes this year in the fantasy football, lads. As you know, you've got your usual chits and stuff, but our league this year, we're going to have 2 separate leagues. So the league that we'd like to invite all of you guys to come and join is our normal fantasy football league that's open to absolutely everybody. And the league code for that league is 74656-20684. And a lot of people have been messaging saying, it doesn't work, the code doesn't work. They're always forgetting that little dash.
Yeah.
I've been guilty of it myself at times.
Thanks for telling me, because I would have.
I always just assume that's there just to break it up, make it look pretty. But look, no, you do need to put that dash in. So it's the official Premier League site that you need to go onto. Click on the fantasy football section, pick your team, and when it asks you to enter the code, it's the Anfield Road Wolves League, and the code once again is 74656-20684.
And if you haven't played it before,
it's going to be addictive. By the way, it's addictive.
No, the app is really good as well, because instead of going onto a desktop and loading in, the app is really good. It gives you your team, it gives you your points, it allows you to change stuff around. It'll see what, triple captain stuff, all these sort of extra bits. It allows you to do all that. It's really, really good. So
I don't know why you're going to bother, Gav, because you won't change your team.
I'm not changing it. From tomorrow I'll go in and I'll see you next May.
And the app is free on both Android and iOS, so you've no excuse for not downloading the app. It's great fun. We hope to see you all there. We've had a great entry already. I think we're approaching 850 people in the league, and there's still a few days to go.
We're hoping around 1,000 by come Friday anyway.
And let the abuse begin. Because God knows there's going to be loads of it.
Yeah, if anyone thinks that they know loads about fancy football or don't know anything, if you can get on to Keith, who is a part of the Anfield Road Wolves, I think his Twitter handle is @Goalmouth. Is that right?
It's @Goalmouth, but it's @GOOALMOUTH.
Yeah, just make sure you get that right. You can hit Keith up because he knows all the stuff, and he's telling us he's going to win it by a country mile. There's nothing really else in it, is there?
We're also running our own Contributors League, which is obviously only open to the guys involved in the Anfield Road Wolves, but it's going to be murder in this league, because God forbid whoever finishes last is going to be hit with one hell of a forfeit.
Yeah. And that's the one thing that's probably making me think about actually doing something. But there might be a forfeit, and we might try to get some sort of prize for the winner of that as well. Maybe a trophy that they can hold on to for a year and then spread it around.
Sports Red Cup or something like that.
The big huge Sports Red Cup with Mike Ashley's signature on it.
Well, I'm not paying for it because you got them for nothing, and I have to pay a $5 or whatever it is, or £1.99 every time I get one because he's a miserable fucker.
Yeah, I get them for nothing. I order enough stuff and I get sorted. So no, we'll see how it goes. But look, everyone get involved. It's going to be a bit of crack, isn't it?
It's great fun, and we're going to have a bit of content throughout the season as well. We're going to be doing some videos on the YouTube channel IRW Now. Nats is going to be hosting a little fantasy football show. depending on what's happening, we may even do the odd pod or two.
Yeah.
Especially if I'm winning it, and then you're going to be getting it constantly.
If Craig is winning, you will get pods probably every week.
Yeah, Periscope's 24/7.
Yeah, it's twice a week. If Craig happens to drop it out of the running, he will declare the whole thing a farce. And the point system is atrocious.
Don't forget the point system.
All that sort of stuff will happen. Trust me. But no, it'll be a good laugh, and may the best man or woman win.
Absolutely, it's going to be me. I'm just saying that now. It's going to be me.
Well, it's going to be you, or there'll be no competition.
That's it.
End off, you know.
We hope you enjoyed this first Total Football pod from ARW. We're going to be back talking lots of stuff during the season, European football. We hope to get a couple of journos on. We'll have some lads dropping in and out of the show. We'll try and keep it to a video pod as and when we can, but it might not always be. I've been Craig. I've been joined by Gav and Jonathan this week. Thank you very much for joining us, and we'll talk to you all soon.
See you now.